Hello and welcome to the August 25th, 2024 episode of Nick's News. I am your host, Nick. This is brought to you by Some Budget Studios. That's right, there is some budget for this now. I'm actually putting money into this whole project. We're on every Sunday, and I thank you all so much for tuning in or catching the replay on the Facebook page or our YouTube page. You can catch us live on Facebook right now. Previous episodes are here, and they're also on the YouTube page. We are working on cross-platforming. I think tomorrow I might be doing the tech test finally. I know I made a story about it not too long ago that we were going to do it like last week. I missed out on that. I apologize. We are going to be doing the tech test here this upcoming week to test out the dual streaming between YouTube and Facebook for those viewers who don't tune into Facebook. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. So this is a program dedicated to bringing some good news to counter all of the bad news that we are bombarded with on a daily basis with the hope of bringing a little bit of joy back to the world. Several of our articles are pulled from goodnewsnetwork.org, but we do appreciate articles sent in by you, the viewers. So, the chat is calling me out. If you were tuning in tonight to this episode, you might notice that we had a misstart. I realized that when we did our breaking news episode last week on the, what day was that? The breaking news episode was on the 23rd, right? Yeah, on the 23rd. I had set up everything with new scenes, and for some reason it copied over my old countdown screen with the breaking news one, and I'm like, I probably need to fix that. So I real quick cut the feed, fixed it all up. The bloopers will not be on YouTube. I don't save the bloopers. And it wasn't much of a blooper to save, but it is pretty funny. Oh, hello, Sean. Hello, Producer Donna. Hello, Julie. You just missed a blooper. Julie's asking, what did I miss? Julie, you just missed a blooper. A misstart, if you will. So, news brew for today. I am looking forward to this. I picked this up while I was in Chicago with some friends a few weeks ago. This is Henna by MORE Brewing Company. It is a 14% ABV high octane Imperial Stout, and it's Henna Chocolate Covered Marshmallow. It's brewed with cocoa nibs and marshmallow. So I've got some high hopes for this brew. So let's find out if Henna lives up to it. We don't need the Balisong bottle opener, so we're just going to crack her open. Hi, Lilith. It showed up as a post. Oh, still no notification. That's weird. Oh, it's dark. Oh, even the head on it is dark. Why do my eyes look so red? My eyes really aren't this red in person. It might be the lighting. I might have to adjust that light ring because I think it lost its settings at some point. So, all right, let's get the theatrics of a 5-minute pour. Oh my god. It's almost as dark as my shirt. Oh, she thick. She thick like ink. One pint of motor oil coming right up. Holy crap. Oh. You need music for the pour? If I can find like something that's not DMCA'd to hell, that's like theatrical classical music, I'll definitely play it for when I'm pouring a news brew. WD12 from Julie. Lilith, oh, even the head on it is dark. Taken out of context is wild. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Motor oil for sure from Lilith. Alright, we're gonna put that right here. Alright, shout out. So, do you want some fine wine or cider? By all means, head on over to Fox Hen Winery in Grand Haven, Michigan. They are open Fridays and Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. And usually on Fridays, you can catch me, Nick, there from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's absolutely fantastic wine and cider. I can't plug them enough. They don't pay me for this by any means. This is just the fact that I like them so much. So to Fox Hen Winery, cheers. Heaven, I'm in heaven. Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that beer is good. Wow. That beer is good. Is my camera tilted? It was. I've been wondering why it looked like I was tilted this whole time. I haven't been tilted. Well, silly camera, we figured out what was wrong with you finally. There we go. That's a little bit better. Whew. All right, second shout out. This is from Producer Donna. Producer Donna's cousin Sarah recently expanded her business. Sarah owns Serenity by Sarah Massage and Reiki, or Reiki. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. And it's found in Roseville, California, and that's actually my birth state. So to Sarah, a big congratulations and a shout out for expanding your business. Cheers. Julie says, and now he chews the thick beer like pudding. Sean saying it's Reiki. My apologies. So that would be Serenity by Sarah, Massage, and Reiki. Thank you, Sean. Recently, I posted an image of Sean, if you want to check that out, on the Nick's News Facebook page. I sent Sean a Spectrum Gunship shirt from Bunker Branding Co. I thought it fits the bill for him, and he is proudly displaying it, so there's an image of that on the Nick's News Facebook page. Thank you, Sean, for modeling that shirt. It's really cool. News quote. I really like this one. Fishing around for quotes is pretty easy. There's so many good ones to be found. Producer Donna sent me some really good ones, one of which I'd actually already used before, which was really cool to see pop up. But this one definitely hits really well in terms of friendship, being around friends, and the bonds that we make. And I want everyone to think about this one. Whatever of us lives in the hearts of others is our truest and profoundest self. So that is from Johann Gottfried Herder, who was a German philosopher, a theologian, a poet, and a literary critic. And he's credited, let me move this over, he's credited with establishing or advancing hermeneutics, linguistics, anthropology, and a secular philosophy of history. And I feel like that's just something really, it's just a really cool quote about how we think about one another. And hold one another in our hearts. And whatever of us lives in the hearts of others is our truest and profoundest self. So thank you, Johann Gottfried Herder, for that one. Cheers. And I'm seeing that I might have a typo. I might have a comma in there that I'm going to go have to fix in post. Sean said he had to try to explain to his son what a C-130 gunship was and its many, many other variants. The Spectre, the Ghost Rider, gosh, it goes on and on. That gunship's got a lot of roles and a lot of names to go with them. Bug update. That's right, the bug update is back. What do we have today? Well, we're going to talk about our newest edition, Elmira Hug and Kiss, our giant vinegaroon. She's doing fantastic. Friday, when I got her after she'd settled into the tank, I did feed her. I didn't record it. She ate 2 baby roaches and a superworm and was very enthusiastic for all of them. I was comparing her appearance to images of healthy fed vinegaroons, and she definitely was on the malnourished side, probably for transportation, for ease of transportation. But now she's bulked up a bit, and then the other day I saw her hunting again on Saturday, so I fed her another decent-sized roach, and now she is very content, so much so that she went into burrow mode, and she has been constructing her first burrow. She's dug down quite a bit. She's actually out right now which is so crazy. They're a nocturnal species, but I found when the temperature is down enough in this room, she will come out and just stand there in the light. Like, maybe she knows she's safe. Maybe she's just proud. She's loud and proud. But she's out right now, standing on top of one of her hides, and is just like, ah. So, it's really interesting behavior, and I'm going to really enjoy owning this insect or this arthropod and getting to know its quirks. So it's really cool. Hello, Eliza. Eliza just joined with a "What up, Buttercups? I made it." Asking, what did I name her again? Elmira Hug and Kiss, because all she wants to do is hug and kiss. So yeah, she is she's Elmira Hug and Kiss, and yeah, she's just chilling. It's really cool to see this small creature. Yep, so there will be more images to come of her as time goes on, so keep an eye out on the Nick's News page if you're interested in seeing more images of the giant vinegaroon Elmira Hug and Kiss. She is our latest little darling girl, so. Cheers. And no, I will not put beer in her water dish. All right, so let's get into our broadcast, our good news. Our broadcast is broken up into 4 major categories, and those categories are science and technology, health and medicine, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals, and wholesome notes, those really nice feely articles we like to end on. Sean asking, what are we talking about? Hold on, Sean has derailed us. Sean, we're talking about our new bug. I went and got a new bug. On Friday, there was a breaking news video that came out as I unboxed our latest edition, Elmira Hug and Kiss, the giant vinegaroon. It is as producer Donna just said, it is a whip scorpion. She is decent sized, but she might have another molt or 2 to go. I'm not sure. But yeah, she's doing very well. All right, let's get into the broadcast. So we're going to hop into category 1, science and technology. And here we've got one article that I called, I May Not Eat It, but damn if it isn't useful. What's it about? Corn! I don't eat corn. It's the one thing I don't eat in this world. I don't know why. I've just never liked it. But corn is incredibly useful. So I am going to copy and post this link in the chat if y'all want to read along. Paste. Startup replaces 6 million plastic bags with prototype made from corn waste that decomposes in 180 days. This article comes from goodnewsnetwork.org, and it was posted on... It's always a pain sometimes to find the timing. There it is, August 19th of 2024, and it was posted by Andy Corbley. An Indian entrepreneur is using sugar, cellulose, and corn fibers to make a plastic-like carrier bag for small Indian businesses. His company, BioReform, has already replaced 6 million plastic bags in the checkout counters of stores all over India. Based in Hyderabad, Mohammed Azir... Sorry, I did proofread this article. Mohammed Azhar Mohidin. Jeez. First got the idea during the general mayhem that arose during the pandemic. Mohidin was looking at global environmental issues with the hope of finding one his entrepreneurial spirit had the capacity to tackle. He would eventually settle on plastic use, the over-reliance on it in society, and the dangers of plastic contamination in the form of microplastic particles. Specifically, he wanted to find an alternative to one of the most common plastic products used today, the plastic shopping bag. He would eventually settle on oh, shoot, there it is. Mohideen saw the largest brands substituting plastic ones for those made of paper or even jute. But for medium and small businesses that power the majority of the Indian economy, the small increase in costs from using biodegradable bags was too prohibitive. According to The Better India, he started studying a biodegradable polymer that was first formed and researched in the 1980s called PBAT, or polybutylene antipate coterephthalate. Got through it. Over in the chat, Sean up north, we've been using cellulose waste vegetable to make bags. They work okay, are somewhat fragile, but will do the job. Very cool. Eliza saying compostable and biodegradable, better than most other brands. Producer Donna throwing in and reusable. We had them banned before COVID brought them back. Fantastic. So yeah, so this stuff is made of a material from the 1980s. It's called PBAT, polybutylene adipate coterephthalate. At the time, it was made with corn and potatoes. After dodging scams and government-mandated quarantines to identify a suitable class of machinery to manufacture the PBAT bags in Gujarat, his presentation on PBAT landed nearly $100,000 RS1 crore in seed funding that allowed him to launch the project. Eliza, the news brew is Henna by MORE Brewing Company. Issues related to plastic pollution are not limited to affecting aquatic life and animals anymore. Today, microplastic has reached our bloodstream. Bottled water contains microplastics. Addressing this is an important and urgent problem, he told TBI. Overcoming bankruptcy, university studies, and a long backlog of unfulfilled orders, bioreform finally started to turn a profit, and today manufactures almost 500,000 bags per year at a gross revenue of $180,000. I am glad I am able to contribute my part. It is sometimes taxing to not lead a regular college life, but in the end, it is all worth it. I feel content when I go back to sleep, but much more needs to be done to make India plastic-free, and I will continue to strive for it, he adds. That is fantastic. So, to Mohammad Azhar Mohideen, and his company Bioreform for utilizing a corn, cellulose, and what was the makeup of it again? Where'd it go? In the long run, it's polybutylene andipate coterephthalate. So, for making new bags out of those for small and medium-sized businesses in India, and hopefully expanding their business. Cheers. This beer is delicious, motor oil. This is what keeps me running. All right, so that gets us out of science and technology, and we are going to move on to health and medicine. We've got a double header article. Sometimes for all articles, I like to come up with funny things, but sometimes I have some permanence in there, like our cancer articles or articles about bees. This one is a double header where we are combining bees and cancer into all the buzz about cancer. Fuck cancer. I will copy and paste this in the chat if y'all want to read along. Over. Manuka honey reduces breast cancer cell growth by 84% in human cells and mice. This article is from goodnewsnetwork.org. It was posted on August 22nd, 2024 by Andy Corbley. Honey has all manner of often hidden medicine-like qualities, but more eyes will certainly be falling on Manuka honey after it was recently shown to reduce the proliferation of breast cancer cells. It did so in a sophisticated manner that even resulted in the occasional triggering of natural cell death, or apoptosis, a mechanism that's bypassed as a malignant cell becomes cancerous. Hello, Charlie. Manuka honey is made by bees that feed on the nectar of the Manuka tree from New Zealand and coastal Australia. The member of the myrtle family is a cousin to other plants that yield powerful medicinal products like clove, allspice, and eucalyptus. In a study published in the journal Nutrients, investigators at the UC Los Angeles Health Johnson Comprehensive Cancer Center found that Manuka honey significantly reduced tumor growth in mice with ER-positive breast cancer cells by 84% without affecting normal breast cells or causing major side effects. ER-positive breast cancer makes up around 60 to 70% of all breast cancer cases in a given year. So this is the breast cancer cell type to be targeted. This is the big one. And here we found that Manuka honey can do the job. Eliza saying, I'm hearing drink more mead. Nothing wrong with drinking more mead. It's thought that Manuka honey is unique compared to all other commercially produced kinds of honey because of its unique chemical composition. Manuka honey has been found to be antibacterial, and not just for the bacteria a parent worries about when their child scrapes their knee, but of the kinds that cause the infections typical in cystic fibrosis patients. The findings provide hope for the development of a natural, less toxic alternative to traditional chemotherapy, said Dr. Diana Marquez-Garban, Associate Professor of Medicine at UCLA, and the study's lead author. Although more research is necessary to fully understand the benefits of natural compounds in cancer therapy, this study establishes a strong foundation for further exploration in this area, she added. In ER-positive breast cancer, tumor cells use estrogen to grow. To combat the tumors, breast cancer patients take estrogen blockers as a non-toxic way of trying to starve them. However, cancer tumors are sometimes able to develop resistance to such treatments, leaving chemotherapy as the only alternative. During experiments with human cancer cells in vitro, the researchers found that the best anti-cancer response was when Manuka honey was combined with the common anti-estrogen drug tamoxifen. In these circumstances, the ER-positive cell proliferation was markedly suppressed, and the combination also significantly inhibited the growth of triple-negative breast cancer, another common form which the honey by itself could only do modestly. So they found a way to combine it and now make it even more effective. In vivo experiments were then conducted in mice, during which they observed the 84% reduction in cell proliferation quoted above. These findings indicate that natural compounds such as Manuka honey, with significant anti-tumor activity and selectivity towards hormone receptor-positive breast cancers, may be further developed as a supplement or potential alternative to cytotoxic anti-cancer drugs that have more non-selective adverse effects, the researchers concluded, aka chemotherapy. Manuka honey from New Zealand must undergo a 5-stage process called the Manuka Honey Science Definition Test developed by the Ministry of Primary Industries to ensure all honey made for export is standardized to certain chemical and physical characteristics. This includes the presence of naturally occurring methylglycol, dihydroxyethanol, and leptospirin, as well as traces of the DNA of the Manuka plant. Without these, it is illegal to call a product Manuka honey. So it's got to be really specific. It's kind of like Trappist ale. The only people that make Trappist ales are Trappist monks. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. The Australian AMHA and the New Zealand UMFHA are organizations of producers that do their part to ensure that any product labeled Manuka honey meets the standard to be called as such. These guilds have marks of authenticity that consumers can look for to know the medicinal honey that they are buying is genuine, as the amount of counterfeit Manuka honey in the market is estimated to be 6 times the amount of authentic Manuka honey. Now I really want to get some of my mead-making friends like Kristen and Eric enough Manuka honey to make a mead so we can make medicinal mead. Sean is heading out. He's heading out because he has to get up at 0400. He's got a 10-hour workday ahead of him involving his local Pride festivities, which usually messes with public transit routes, plus an extended commute home due to a flaming Mazda on the highway. Sean, you have a great night, and thank you for joining us. So yeah, to everybody involved at the UC Los Angeles Health Johnson Comprehensive Cancer Center and to Dr. Diana Marquez Garban for the research into Manuka honey helping to reduce breast cancer. Cheers. Oh, my mistake. Correction. That was Sean's day today. He's going to go get some sleep because he's tired. Sean, go sleep. Eliza says honey is hypoallergenic, but the ingredients that the bees eat to make it transfer into the honey and can cause allergic reactions for people who are allergic to those items. Yeah, I think I have heard of that. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know what's involved with Manuka, with the Manuka plant. Hopefully nothing too terrible. So people who, Eliza adding, so people who say they are allergic to honey, yeah, they aren't. They are allergic to what is in it. So perhaps they need to try different honey, like Manuka honey. I call this next one Guardian Cap Angels. And I will copy and paste this in the chat if y'all want to read along. NFL Guardian Cap helmet covers slash concussion risk 50%. This article comes from Design News. It was posted on August 20th, 2024 by Dan Carney, the senior editor. It is August, so naturally the stores are full of Halloween decorations and the news is full of NFL football coverage. While the costumes haven't changed much, the football players do look a little different this year because some of them are wearing Guardian Cap helmet covers. The Guardian Cap is a padded soft cover that attaches to the outside of a regular hard-shell football helmet that reduces the impact severity by 10%, by itself, or by 20% when the two Guardian Cap-equipped helmets collide. Nearly all players are wearing the protective gear over their regular helmets in any of the shots you're seeing from NFL training camps. And some players have gotten so used to the extra padding on their helmets that they are wearing the extra protection during preseason games too. In April, the NFL even made it permissible for players who choose to do so to wear the Guardian Cap on their helmet in regular season games this year. In this respect, the NFL is lagging far behind grassroots football, which has seen youth teams, high schools, and colleges using Guardian Caps for nearly a decade already. Guardian has coach testimonials from these lower levels of the sport dating back to 2015. Guardian Sports founders Aaron and Lee Hansen applied their backgrounds in the material science businesses to engineer, patent, and manufacture the Guardian Cap starting in 2010. The NFL began testing the waters of Guardian Cap during 2022 training camps, and then they were mandated during the 2023 season at every preseason practice, as well as every regular season and postseason practice with contact. Players at position groups where head contact is seen most are required to wear the Guardian Cap. The only positions not required to wear the caps are kickers, punters, quarterback, wide receivers, and defensive backs. Julie, some of us lived the sports ball. Charlie, sports ball, woo! Eliza saying Eliza lives the hockey hype soon. Julie, I think the preseason ended. I could have sworn the preseason just ended, so we should be getting it. I think the games start September 5th. I think that Thursday is maybe the first day of the season. I don't know. Somebody would have to check that out for me. We don't have a sports ball section of Nick's News. During these practices, the league said that it found a more than 50% reduction in concussions among players wearing the Guardian Cap. We were really impressed with the information, maybe even a little bit surprised, said Jeff Miller, NFL Executive Vice President, overseeing player health and safety. And half of the concussions that did occur were the result of impacts on the face mask, which isn't covered by the Guardian Cap, he added in a discussion posted on NFL.com. In April, the league decided it has seen enough to proceed with regular season game use. We now have 2 years of data showing significant concussion reductions among players who wear Guardian caps during practice, so players will be permitted to wear the cap during games this upcoming season, Miller said in the NFL's statement. Oh, this article is a lot bigger than I thought it was. The on-field results are backed by lab testing. Each and every time we put the Guardian cap on, the impact severity was reduced, observed Dr. Jeff Crandall, chair of the NFL Engineering Committee. Overall, when we looked across all the helmet models, we saw that if one player was wearing the Guardian cap or one helmet was wearing it, we had a 10% average reduction in impact severity. And if we put it on both helmets, we sort of get double the benefit. We saw that there was a 20% reduction. Funny that math works like that. This is important because there is a difference between the severe impacts that cause concussions and the smaller repetitive impacts that are believed to contribute to players developing chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, which is the brain injury that leaves players with premature disability and dementia. CTE doesn't appear to be related to a single head injury, explains the Mayo Clinic. It's related to repeated head injuries, often occurring in contact sports or military combat. Considering the downside of head impacts and the increasing familiarity with the cap by players, there is increasing interest in continuing to wear them during the season. I am 100% pro Guardian cap, reported NFL tight end Colin Thompson. In the world we live in today, where there's more science, there's more knowledge, Sadly, a player passes away and they use their brain to see what's going on in there, and you're seeing a lot of CTE, he said. I think it is a fantastic thing the NFL's done. If it gets it 10%, 20%, 30% better, I think every player would say, sure, let me wear it, because I don't notice it in practice. I don't feel the difference. NFL season is indeed starting Thursday, September 5th, with the Ravens versus the Chiefs. Not being able to feel a difference is the key to broad acceptance during the regular season games, but getting players used to the sight of them is also important. Fortunately, youth, high school, and college teams are using Guardian caps, so players will become used to them from a young age. Kids, actually, they've gotten used to wearing them, reports University of Virginia defensive ends coach and retired NFL player Chris Slade. They thought they were kind of corny looking at first, but they know you're going to wear them. It is going to be for your protection, Slade explained. It has paid off for us pretty big. The caps look a little less unusual when a fabric cover printed with the team colors and logo is stretched over them, approximating the appearance of a larger regular helmet. An alternative technology that has a smooth glossy surface is a safer sports helmet cap, or SAFR sports helmet cap. This cap looks even more like a conventional helmet and has delivered strong results from testing by the Virginia Tech Helmet Lab. When installed on a helmet that is already one of the lab's 5-star products, the safer cap produced impact scores from lab testing that correspond with a 77% reduction in the likelihood of a concussion than just wearing the helmet. In the very hardest hits, that reduction is still 72%. So competing designs, but that's good in this case. We are trying to get health safety up in contact sports. The Virginia Tech football team put the safer caps on players during the annual spring scrimmage in 2023, and neither fans nor media in attendance even noticed the players were wearing anything unusual, according to Dr. Stefan Duma, director of Virginia Tech's Institute for Critical Technology and Applied Sciences. Based on that experience, the Virginia Tech football team saw 2 players decide to wear the safer caps all season. Center Caden Moore and offensive tackle Parker Clements chose to stick with the safer cap when the team's regular season started in 2023. I didn't even notice I'm wearing the helmet cover during practice, so it just makes sense to keep it on for games, Clements explained. Another benefit to adding a soft external cap to the helmet is that it protects the helmet itself. This reduces maintenance costs for cash-strapped youth and school teams, but it could also prevent situations such as the high-profile incident last season when Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes saw his helmet break on impact during a cold-weather game that made the helmet's plastic shell brittle. And there is a link to go watch that nightmare. The Canadian Football League is ahead of the NFL, with players wearing the Guardian cap in a regular season game on August 16th. That is really cool. to everybody involved with production and utilization of the Guardian cap and the NFL finally catching up and using it. Cheers. Good night, Lily. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so that gets us out of health and medicine. We are going to move on to category 3, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals. I called this first one Turtly Enough for the Turtle Club, and I will copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along. Dozens of baby turtles set free in Quebec River as part of zoo conservation project. This article is brought to us by the Toronto Star. It was posted on August 24th of 2024. And I don't know who the author was, sadly. It was first posted in by the Canadian Press on August 24th of 2024. Pike River, Quebec. The weeks-old baby turtle wriggles its legs as it's picked up from a blue Tupperware bin and placed gently into a river south of Montreal. In a flash, it's off, swimming deftly through the murky water before disappearing from view. The little green-brown creature, twice the size of a loony, is one of about 140 endangered baby spiny softshell turtles being released into a river near Lake Champlain, near the U.S. border, as part of a zoo-led project to help save the species. As it makes its way into the wild, the baby turtle will run a gamut of predators, from raccoons to fish, birds, and other turtles, which means that only between 1 and 5 out of every 100 will live to adulthood. But the Granby Zoo, east of Montreal, hopes that by collecting the turtle eggs and hatching them in an incubator away from hungry predators and flooding, these little ones have at least a bit of a head start. Quebec, says Eliza. Chelsea Paquette, a conservation coordinator, says most are released when they're a few weeks old, although the zoo keeps a few to release at 1 and 2 years of age. So we just kind of help these individuals get as big as possible before they get out into the real world. Paquette was on hand Saturday at a turtle festival in Pike River, where local families were given the chance to pick up the baby turtles and slide them into the water. The Lake Champlain area is the last place left in Quebec that is home to the spiny softshell turtle, which is named for its leathery shell and spiny projections near its head. The Canadian government estimates that the number of adult females in the area is only in the dozens. The zoo has released about 2,500 baby turtles since 2009, but hopes to pick up the pace as its focus increasingly shifts from keeping animals in captivity to letting them go. Patrick Perret, a biologist with the Granby Zoo, says the zoo is hoping to help introduce some 5,000 individuals into the wild by 2030, including more species of turtles, bats, and birds, as part of a conservation mission announced earlier this year. Those efforts also include working with zoos in other countries, including a frog release program in Panama, and partnering with local conservation groups to protect the habitat of turtles and other species, he said. Perret says the spiny softshell turtle is an umbrella species, meaning that protecting its habitat will also help the survival of other species of turtles, birds, frogs, and fish. The spiny softshell turtle in our project contributes to protecting tens of other animal species, he said. Eliza reminding us the difference between turtles and tortoises. Turtles have flappy flaps, whereas torties have stompy stomps. That's fantastic. The zoo's mandate also includes education and working with the public. On Saturday, under sunny skies, a long lineup formed on the riverbank of people who had won a coveted ticket to release a turtle at the Mikinak Turtle Festival. So they were turtly enough to get into the Turtle Club. Neighbors Carol Menard and Sabrina Leduc released theirs together. Both live near the water, where they've grown attached to the turtles they see hanging out on the riverbanks. Holding one in their hands only strengthened that connection, they said. It knows where to go, Leduc said of the small animal. It wants to go in the water. Paquette said there are signs that the zoo's spiny softshell turtle release efforts might be working. While numbers are hard to measure, observers have seen some females with markings they don't recognize, and some nests of smaller eggs suggesting there might be new females breeding. However, growing their ranks is a slow process, given that turtles don't reproduce until they're 12 to 15 years old, she said. Paquette said some of the turtles the zoo is releasing will have trackers attached, which will hopefully give better numbers. Normally, for turtles, it's about 1% of individuals that actually survive until adults, she said. So most of them won't survive, but it's really that 1% that we want to go help. That is really cool. Yeah, zoos, a lot of zoo articles we've had recently of zoos just doing crazy good things with breeding programs and conservation efforts. So to the Granby Zoo and their program, and Chelsea Paquette, who's leading the charge on returning spiny softshell turtles to their natural habitats. Cheers. Producer Donna also letting me know the original author is the Canadian Press, Graham Hughes. It's like the Associated Press here in the U.S. Okay, I hope you're ready, because we are moving out of flora and fauna, and we are getting into the wholesome notes. We are going to start with an obligatory cat article. This one comes from Cassidy. Cassidy, thank you very much. We have not had an obligatory cat article in several episodes. So here it comes, back with a vengeance. I will copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along. Brave kitten takes a risky dive into the river and starts swimming toward a better life. This was posted on Happy Whisker. It was updated on June 30th of 2024 by Ann Morgan. Our feline friends never fail to surprise us with their bravery and determination. When they set their minds to something, they make it happen. Today's story features a kitty that embodies just that spirit. The moment this little guy saw a chance of a loving forever home, he fearlessly took the plunge, swimming to a new beginning. Not even a deep river could deter him from his dream. When Zoyizi, a founder of Animal Care Heaven, a Los Angeles-based animal rescue organization, saw a little kitten on the other side of the river, looking rather dazed and starving, she knew she needed to help him. She called out to him, trying to think of a way to reach him, but the kitten had plans of his own. Without hesitation, he bravely jumped into the river and began swimming towards her. And there is a video of it, I believe. Impressed by his courage, Zoyizi decided to bring him home and provide the life he so boldly swam towards. At home, Zoyizi dried off the little swimmer and fed him some delicious food. The kitten had an amazing appetite. He ate heartily, drank plenty of water, and then took a long and restful nap. When he woke up, he immediately sought out his new mama and made himself comfortable in her lap, quickly deciding it was his new favorite spot. Zoyizi named her new feline friend Lucky, a fitting name for a tabby fluff who unexpectedly swam into her life. In the days that followed, Lucky proved to be the perfect kitten. He was playful, intelligent, and cuddly, 3 qualities every cat parent cherishes. He loved to play hide and seek with his mom, cuddle with her in bed, and pounce on her whenever he thought it was time for her to focus on him instead of her phone. Lucky also enjoyed spending time beside Zoyizi while she worked on her laptop, content to let her work while he peacefully snoozed in her lap. Zoyizi soon discovered that Lucky wasn't just an ordinary tabby kitten. It turned out that he belonged to a special Chinese breed known for its intelligence and great hunting skills, the Jianzhou cat. This revelation delighted Zoyizi, who also had Chinese origins. For her, rescuing Lucky felt like fate. No one could deny they were meant to be. Aside from an incident where he peed in her bed the first night, Lucky was generally well-behaved and good-tempered. He loved playing with his laser pointer and mouse toys, but sleeping was definitely his favorite activity. Lucky adored his comfy bed and the teddy bear he always cuddled with. He also enjoyed playing with his canine brother, an adorable golden retriever pup. Their playful tussles often left him covered in dog saliva, but fortunately, Lucky didn't mind getting wet, making bath time easy for Zoyizzy. Lucky loved the great outdoors too. His mom sometimes took him fishing, where he was fascinated by the fish and loved basking in the sun. All in all, he was a wonderful feline companion with a bright future ahead of him. Thankfully, he found a fantastic cat mom who was ready to give him the life he deserved. We can all learn a lot from Lucky. He's a great reminder that sometimes, to make our dreams come true, we simply have to dive in, head first. And there is a video posted of Lucky swimming towards Zoyizzy. To Zoyizzy for taking in Lucky, and to Lucky for being the bravest little feline out there. Cheers. This last one we are going to end with is a Not All Heroes Wear Capes article. I will copy and paste this in the chat if y'all want to read along. UPS driver's heroic act saves a woman's life. This was posted on Sunny Skies on August 21st of 2024. A UPS driver sprung into action after he noticed an elderly woman passed out in her driveway while on his delivery route. On Monday, August 12th, Raheem Cooper was making his usual deliveries when he noticed something alarming. A woman lying motionless in her driveway, groceries scattered around her under the blistering 102-degree sun. He quickly jumped off his truck and, after checking to see if anyone else was home, called 911. While waiting for the ambulance to arrive, Cooper began rendering aid to the woman, who had taken a severe fall and was in critical condition. Within 5 to 6 minutes, paramedics arrived and took over, rushing her to the hospital. Everyone help me give a big shout out to Raheem Cooper from UPS. He was working his route in Valdosta yesterday and drove past a very elderly lady who fell in her driveway and was having a medical emergency. She was bad off. Mind you, it was 102 degrees outside, and she had been laying out there for God knows how long. Her groceries were spilled everywhere, and they were not cold anymore, if that says anything. Mr. Cooper stopped what he was doing and immediately rendered aid and called an ambulance. She surely would not have made it if he didn't help her. He even picked her groceries up afterwards. We need more people like Raheem in this world. Thank you, sir. Stand up, gentlemen. The heat and the unknown duration she had been lying there made the situation even more dire. Cooper's swift response undoubtedly saved her life. It feels so great, he told WALB. It's amazing. I wasn't even expecting to tell the story. The only person I told was my mom, so I'm really surprised by all the attention that it's getting. I'm satisfied with what I do, but I have to give all glory to God because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been there, so I just thank God. Cooper has since been in touch with the woman's family, who were relieved to share that she is now on the road to recovery. And there is an interview video of Raheem Cooper regarding the rescue. So to Raheem Cooper, just a run-of-the-mill UPS driver who saw someone in distress and stopped to help. Not all heroes wear capes, sir. Cheers. All right. That about does it for us. 6 great articles. Fantastic stuff. Thank you again for tuning in or catching the replay on the Nick's News Facebook page or the YouTube page. Again, we're live every Sunday, and our next episode is going to be on September... It can't be, really? Yep, it's going to be on September 1st of 2024. I encourage participation, so if you feel inclined, please, you can send in suggestions for news brews, for shout-outs, for quotes, and especially the good articles that you find that we can present on future episodes of Nick's News. If possible, I do appreciate a variety of articles across our 4 major categories, and those categories, again, are science and technology, health and medicine, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals, and the wholesome notes, the really touchy-feely ones we like to end on. You can either message us here on Facebook, or you can email us at somebudgetstudios@gmail.com. Feel free to like, subscribe, or comment here on Facebook and on YouTube. The episodes go up the day after on YouTube from the live stream date. I'm not going to tell you to, obviously. I appreciate it if you do, though. We're trying to figure out how the algorithm works with Joy, and we want to get that out there into the algorithm. So, again, like, comment, subscribe if you feel inclined. If not, no worries. I just appreciate you tuning in and checking us out. So, that's about it. As always, thank you again. I love you all. Have a great night, and I am going to play us out.